So you got cut from your team. It's painful. You work so hard, you put everything into it, and now you feel like it's all for nothing. I get it, I've been there personally. I want to talk about this because a lot of kids who get cut from teams end up feeling like they just want to give up. And unfortunately, if we teach kids that giving up is the answer to failure or not making teams, what are we teaching them for life? And so for us, this is going to be such an important lesson we have to teach young athletes because it's going to develop their mindset for the rest of their lives. What do you do when you don't get what you want, when you don't get put into the team you want? We're gonna break it down, rebuilding confidence after getting cut from a team. There's 6 steps that I've listed out here that I used personally from when I got cut from a rep team when I was 14 years old. I wanna quickly tell you about that story so you have a better understanding that I know what it feels like. Growing up, my sport was playing rugby union. I grew up playing rugby since I was 3 years old, since I could barely pick up a ball. And by the time I was 14 years old, I made that promise to myself that I want to play professional rugby and play in Australia. That's what I wanted. And so I started the season off that year, working towards a goal. I had that in my head, it was just in my mind. Rep season came around, decided to trial. And throughout my entire life, I've been pretty much cruising because I was pretty naturally talented. So I just got made every team that I ever made and I felt good. But then that rep season came around and we're trialing and I got cut. I remember the coach sat us all down on the ground and he just called it name by name. And I was just waiting for my name to be listed off, and I just never heard it. When he finished listing off all the players that made it, I just sunk. I just sat on the grass staring at the ground, and I just felt destroyed. Tears started coming down my face, and as it did, I decided to get up and approach the coach and just asked him, Coach, what can I do next time to make the team? And he told me that, basically I couldn't tackle that well, and I was a bit smaller, so he didn't really see me as much of an asset or valuable to the team, which I get, and I looked back on it, I was quite angry at him at the time. But after he said those things, I said thank you and I walked away. And as I walked away, I just started crying. All my friends and teammates or other players that I knew were all still there and I was just crying, walking back to my car. I didn't speak to a single person walking back. I just walked straight to my car. I got in the car, I just started crying to my dad. And I remember the feeling, I just thought, man, this hurts. And that afternoon, that evening after the trials, I ran out of home and I just sat by myself for a few hours, destroyed, because that's your life. As a kid, sport's your life, and I get it. When something you love so much and you get rejected, it hurts, and I remember it. But the year after that, I decided to keep pushing forward. I decided to focus on my weaknesses, and I had one coach who believed in me, and he broke me down and built me back up. He broke down my ego, told me what's up, told me what I need to work on to get better, and he forced me to improve. And when I did improve, man, I felt so good because the year after that, I made the next rep team, I made my state team, so British Columbia, and I made the under-17s Canadian rugby team, all within 12 months. I'm not saying you're gonna have the exact same story as me, but I'm saying is don't define yourself from one team. Don't define yourself from getting cut from just one team because you don't know what that experience can do for you. But it's up to you what you decide what to do with that moment. Success or failure doesn't define you, but it's what you do afterwards. And from that moment on, man, I look back and I was so proud of myself. 15, 16 years old, and I did that. I bounced back, and I remember that, and I still have that within me, and I still replicate that same emotional response that every time I get rejected, I keep moving forward, I keep pushing, and for me, that was a defining moment of my character, and I will forever be grateful for the decisions that I made to keep pushing through. And that made me more who I am today. So parents, if you're hearing this, don't hide your kids away from failure. Help them build resilience to get through it because it is so valuable. So I got 6 steps here that I want to break down for you and tell you about how I personally got through being cut from a team and making Team Canada the following year. And I want you to be able to do it too, but with these 6 steps. So let's break it down. So step number 1, feel it and accept it. Now what that means is the moment you get cut, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna feel sad, you're gonna feel angry, you're gonna feel frustrated. And I remember those feelings still to this day. But what you gotta do is feel it's gonna hurt, you gotta feel it, and accept that's how you're gonna feel for a little bit. But what I don't want you to do is dwell on it and extend the process of being in pain. You're gonna hurt, but you don't need to drag it on. Give yourself 24 hours to really feel it, accept it, and then we gotta move forward now. We gotta get back on track because the more you feel upset, angry, and sad, you're not getting better from that, and you're not gonna get better by playing the victim card, being like, Oh, why does this always happen to me? Why did it happen to me? Why do I have to get this bad end of the straw? When you do that, you're accepting failure. You're accepting defeat. For me, and high-level athletes or high-level individuals, we don't accept defeat. We feel it, accept it, now let's get back on track, let's take action, let's move forward, okay? So step number 2, reframe the situation. So for me, when I first got cut, yeah, I was pretty upset, and it was a defining moment, but once I realized, man, this moment right here when I got cut, I'm gonna use this to fuel me. Reframe it now. Let's reframe it as, okay, this is what I struggled with, this is why I got cut, so let's go on and build on that. This moment right now will define me when I get through it. This moment won't define me because I failed, but it's going to define me because I'm going to get through it and be better and stronger from the situation. So that's moving into step number 3. Let's get feedback. Most athletes are too scared to ask this question. Coach, what can I work on? Can I have some feedback? Once you gain your feedback, let's make a plan. Let's figure out what you need to do now. So once the coach tells you what you need to work on, let's focus on those things and be consistent. The coach told me I was terrible at tackling and I was small. So what did I do? I ended up having to practice my tackling. I had to get my best friend who was pretty much bigger, a lot bigger than me. I told him to run at me straight over and over and over again one time. I got a few of my friends. I had a friend who's, about this much taller than me. I have a friend who's 6'8", 6'9", and they both have about 30 kgs on me, or even more maybe. And he comes to run at me straight so I could practice my tackling. I was like, man, I gotta conquer this, right? So I figured out what I need to work on. I asked my feedback from the coach. He told me I was too small, I couldn't tackle. So I made my plan, got my friends to keep running it straight at me so I could keep practicing and developing that confidence in that area of weakness. And you can do the same thing too. Whatever sport you're doing, ask your feedback, figure out what your weaknesses are, and build on it. Stay consistent, keep working at it. If you keep procrastinating, like, oh, I suck, I'm not that good, you're wasting your time. Get feedback, make your plan, stay consistent every week. You keep working at it until you build that confidence. Moving on, step 4, train with intensity and purpose. Now, once you get your plan, let's amplify it now. Let's train with intensity, let's train with purpose, let's put your heart into it now. Don't sit back, sit on your ass, feel upset about yourself, put an intensity in. So once you know your plan, push, right? You know what you gotta do, let's work hard now. Let's put the effort in. That's the growth and fixed mindset here. If we focus on, oh, I gotta be perfect, everything's gotta be easy to me, yeah, well, none of this matters then. Getting a growth mindset, be like, I'm gonna push myself hard, challenge myself, be uncomfortable so I can get better. But you have to do that with intensity and purpose. Everything you have to do has to be for a reason, for a purpose. No wasted seconds, minutes, hours of your day need to be wasted on things that don't matter. Focus on what you can do and put purpose and intensity into it and execute at a high level. Build mental toughness. That wraps in a bit more what I just said before about growth and fixed mindset. If you want to have mental toughness and build resilience, you have to reframe what failure and success looks like to you. Success and failure doesn't define you. It's opportunities to learn and grow. So for me, I constantly had to keep pushing through the failures that whole entire year. The whole entire year from being cut to making Team Canada, I had to deal with bullying. I remember my teammates didn't really like me, but I just kept showing up. I kept putting in. And then the high school team came around. That's the year that coach broke me down to build me back up. He forced me to get better. He challenged me. I had to build toughness in the areas that he was damaging my ego, but it broke me down so I can figure out what do I need to get better now. And so what I did was every game I came up with resilience and toughness, like no one's gonna stop me. In the grand final match in our high school game, I had other players on the other team trying to injure me. I came up with contusions in my calf, unable to walk for a week or two from that game, but they couldn't stop me. And I love that I had mental toughness. They tried to break me down, they tried to hurt me, and I never gave up. They saw me as a threat. They wanted me out of the game, but I never quit. And I took pride on that. It's like, you're not getting me off this field. And I kept pushing forward. It felt so good because when we ended up winning by 2 points that game, man, I remember every second of that game, my best mates, my teammates, that team. That's a memory now that I have in me that I didn't give up. I pushed all the way through to win this for my team. Take pride in yourself for not quitting. Always push through. Step 6, let's get you back in the game. Once you take off all these other steps, get yourself back on that field, back in that court, back in the sport that you play, and start performing and showing the new level of confidence, new level of skill, and new level of character and mindset that you have and implement into the game. Bring yourself to a higher level, prove what you can do, prove everyone wrong who said you're not good enough. Prove that coach wrong, prove everyone else wrong that didn't believe in you. You need to believe in yourself, but you gotta take the steps. I hope you found today's video really helpful, motivational, inspiring, from my point of view, but also I know what it's like to be cut from the team and how to rise from the occasion, how to get better, how to dig yourself out of the dirt to rise again. It's such a powerful moment for kids to be able to do that. Parents, do not hide your kids away from failure and struggle. Let them embrace it, feel it, and help them, support them to become the person they need to be to execute and achieve success in life and in sport. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel. It helps us so much to be able to spread our message across to help athletes just like you become more confident, more resilient, and happier